So this is Martin Espinoza again with the Press Democrat. It looks like there is some activity going on. There was I don't know how many were there, like about half a dozen or more SWAT officers walking behind an armored vehicle. It looks like they turned into the, let's see, into the home.
See if you can see anything on it.
I'm gonna come over here. It's hard to see anything here.
It's pretty weak.
No.
It's pretty weak.
Yeah. I don't see anything. And any other.
Are they going to run across?
Yeah, I can't see. But there was
Because they went two separate
some
ways.
officers did go toward the home.
I'm going to go around that side.
I'm gonna go around that side. All right. Excuse me. I'm gonna try to. No, I'm just getting. There is no good view here. If I were taller, maybe. I don't see anything over here. Too many cars. No. Again, this is Martin Espinoza with the Press Democrat. Just a few minutes ago, an armored SWAT vehicle did head into the property, followed by about half a dozen or more members of the SWAT team right behind it. And I think there was also the police dog, wasn't there? The canine. Since my last report, they have stationed an ambulance and a paramedic, and now that Santa Rosa fire paramedic, it looks like it's moving, we might get a better view.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, not loud. Thank you. I wonder if it's in that street there.
Paramedic is moving. Nice.
I thought it like pulled
It
them.
must have turned into the property.
That's why I thought they were all gonna cross,
Passing behind it.
like use it as a
Oh,
barricade.
shield, yeah.
Let's see. Folks need finish. Well, again, this is Martin Espinoza with the Press Democrat. I'm here at Dutton Avenue and Sherry Way, just south of that intersection. And it looks like there's a situation. They called it an incident. Somebody with a gun, firearm, heard a police officer say it was a long-range weapon. And a SWAT vehicle, armored, just went into the property with, followed by a number, maybe a dozen or more, I mean a half a dozen or more SWAT officers. See some residents leaving the area,
Here comes another one.
and another one leaving the area.
Just kidding.
They're not letting anybody into the area, and even people who live in within the police perimeter are not being allowed to enter. Those that were already within the perimeter were being told that they need to shelter in place or enter their homes or get beyond the police perimeter here.
I have not gotten an interview with Army Corps of Engineers yet. Still at police standoff period.
What's going on? This looks like a standoff between somebody who is armed with what one police officer called a long-range weapon inside a home here on Dutton Avenue, just south of Sherry Way in southwest Santa Rosa. And just a few minutes ago, maybe about 10 minutes ago, an armored police vehicle went into the property, I believe, and it was followed by a number of officers from a SWAT team in the Santa Rosa Police Department, walking right behind it. That's all I know. Police are not letting anybody into the house, within the police perimeter, which I'm standing at right now. Are being told that it's a dangerous situation. They're telling people that are already within the perimeter here to go into their homes and not to come out until it's over, or to get beyond the police perimeter.
That's interesting. She was just inside that house 5 minutes ago. The officer that walked down the sidewalk there, blonde officer with ponytail, she was just inside that house. Maybe
Going to the bathroom.
could be that. Or maybe they know.
It's got a gun and it's a long range one.
Know details. You can still be really
Okay, let's get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
Are these mostly residents who are leaving?
I do. Do you live over here? She's on what bus?
I got my dad. Very good.
Sounds good, thank you.
Step out of the room. Is there any way walking? Just go check on it.
I think this should be okay in there, so it's not a problem unless she's like trying to leave, then we could help her. But I'm not allowed to let anybody in there. You know what I mean? If she comes out, we can work with this way. But it's past the ambulance. The incident, okay?
Yes, as you can see there, police are not letting anybody into the area.
Yeah, I accidentally dialed you. I just touched base with the Army Corps of Engineers, let her know I might be a few minutes late, just because things are kind of active right now. Okay, cool. Thanks. Can't really call it butt dial if you thumb dial.
I checked that.
Great. So these are all our cars in here. This is the ESC car.
Yeah. For some reason, my radio was down. Like I was getting shouted earlier.
Uh-oh.
Maybe it stopped.
What was that?
That was rifle case.
A rifle case.
A very long rifle.
Or an oboe case.
Could be, yeah.
Could be a trumpet.
A little long for trumpet.
One of the bigger saxophones from the saxophone. No, it's pretty flat.
Oh boy.
Are you rolling or are you just on
I'm
standby?
rolling. They're asking me to talk. There's not much to say, and I've been saying it over and over again.
Move it.
I will hush it.
Oh, sorry. We have a lot of police coming in here.
You guys want to come in? I need you to move. Either come in here or over
I'm
there.
gonna move in.
You
Perfect.
guys have a PIO coming out here?
I'll let you know whenever.
All right, thank you.
Good. Just park right over here. No.
Yeah, so what we're end up doing is probably jacking everybody out
They said somebody just left.
north of this street, and then there's our bus right now. Okay, so, hey, you know what we're gonna probably do is move everybody, this whole thing back further and set our bus right here, you think? What's the distance though?
Hi. Looking for some info?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi.
Mark-
Summer Black. Sergeant.
Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Hi.
Hello.
Martin Espinoza,
Hi,
Press
Martin.
Democrats.
Hi.
So what do we got?
Can we do it on camera real quick,
Yeah,
or
that's
do you want
fine.
to? Do you want to give us a quick brief first?
I'll give you a quick brief, and then you guys can ask me whatever you want.
Sure.
There's not a lot of info I can tell you right now. Basically, we got a report of possibly an armed subject in residence down here. Not sure if he's in there alone or possibly has other people inside, or it's
Gotta get the bus.
nothing really yet to indicate a hostage situation, but that's what we're trying to figure out.
Okay. We got another. Is this a mobile command unit? What is this?
This is.
Yeah, we got two out here.
We have some active SWAT teams out here.
SWAT teams out here too. We got SWAT team and two mobile command units. One is just pulling up from the Santa Rosa Police Department. All right. What was your name again?
Sergeant Summer Black.
Summer Black.
Yeah.
Hi, Summer.
Hi.
So what do we got? You say there's nothing really at this point yet to
You know,
suggest whether or not it's
honestly, we got a report.
Uh-huh.
It was very limited information, so we're gathering intelligence to kind of figure out what exactly we do have. The information that we have right now is there's possibly a subject in a residence just up the street who may be armed, may have people inside that could be hostage, could not be. It's super vague right now, so we're working the intel and trying to get more information.
Are you in communication with the subject?
Or not.
Not in communication.
No. We're just trying to get information from people that were inside earlier. I guess that's the best I can tell
Oh,
you
we're
right
inside,
now.
so
Yeah.
you're talking to people who had seen him.
Yes, exactly.
And it's a male?
Yes.
Okay. And I heard an officer say that something about a long-range weapon. Do we know if...
You know, like I said, the reports are kind of vague.
Kind of
We're
vague.
treating it right now like he's potentially armed.
Okay.
Again, until we verify that, we don't know. But because of the nature of the call, we're treating
Do we
it
know
that way.
initially when this first happened?
Boy, I'd want to say about an hour ago.
About an hour ago?
Yeah. I don't remember the exact time of the call.
Okay, and what I was going to ask you, we saw what looked like a SWAT team going behind an armored vehicle just a little while ago, maybe about
Right.
15 or 20 minutes ago. Do you know if they're in the property now?
They are in the process of going through the residences. It's a multi-residence. There's multiple buildings in the property.
In the property.
Yeah.
And have you spoken to the owner of the property?
I haven't personally,
but
I'm not quite sure who's exactly spoken to him
Okay.
or her.
And are local residents being told to shelter in place?
Yes,
or?
they are.
Okay.
Yes, and the schools around the area have been notified as well.
Okay. Notified, lockdown, or what are we talking about?
As last I heard, they were not under lockdown, just because in distance in relation to where this is occurring.
Right.
So, but they were advised of the situation, and any of the local residents in the area here have been told just to stay in their houses until we give the okay to clear or evacuate if they wanted to.
How far back is the property? I mean, I see a lot of what looks like.
You know, I haven't been.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been on that property, but
Clearly.
it's set back off the street a little ways.
Because I mean, they're standing out there. It doesn't look like they're,
Right.
taking position or.
No, it's tucked back off the street.
At this point, would we call this a standoff, or what are we calling this?
No, I wouldn't call it a standoff at this point. As we develop information, we clarify exactly what it is, but the real kind of summary of it right now is we're not quite sure.
Is there
what
any
we
chance
have.
that the person is not there anymore?
Could be.
Yeah.
It could be, but we treat it like they're there.
Do you mind if can we do the quick TV version of it?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, we're gonna. I'll stay on with
Can
the
you give me
TV
one
version here.
second while I- Hello?
Sorry about that.
Hey.
My battery died anyway. I had to
Okay.
grab the other battery.
All
It
right.
went from like 50% to like 0 in just like 2 minutes.
So again, this is Martin Espinoza with the Press Democrat. That was I believe it was Sergeant Summer Black,
Yes.
who was just giving us some information about what's going on in there. There may or may not be somebody in there with a gun. It's a property just beyond the
I don't think so.
ambulance.
The
If
only
you
thing
could
is
see
I
it
don't
just
think-
over
I
here in
don't
the
have my
in the
Twitter
corner.
here on my phone. I can probably try to
The
access
property
it.
does have
I think
multiple
I can
buildings,
access
and it
Twitter
looks
from
like
my
a
phone,
SWAT
but I
team
don't
has
have
gone
any
in
SWAT
there
updates,
with
but
maybe
when this
a
all clears,
half a
we'll
dozen
do
or
the
more
station, or I'll have
SWAT
someone
officers
do it, but,
to
dispatch
check out
can't do it, so I'll probably
the
look back
the
and do it.
the different buildings. So we're not sure. This may or may not be a hostage situation. There may or may not be somebody in there with a gun. What Sergeant Black was saying
Sure.
was that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
had
that
been
sounds
interviewing
great.
people that
Okay.
saw him earlier,
I have no idea.
and so they're just
So, I don't know.
taking it very
But,
slow,
if you
going
don't
in
hear
there
from me, I'll just take
to
care of
see
it if
what's
they need
to
do
see
some protection
if they can
stuff.
find somebody.
Does that sound good?
And I'm gonna stay on while what is this, KPIX does their little interview
idea.
here. So you'll get to hear what Sergeant Black
Oh.
just told me.
I have no idea who that is. Okay. All right. Well, sorry. They just kind of called me to do it. So,
Uh-oh, I got a low battery.
okay. All right. And I'll text you if I need you. Thanks. Okay. Bye. Sorry.
No worries.
It's our gal that handles all this normally. So,
Who's that?
she's telling me ask me if she needs any help. Alexa Popplewell. She's our marketing advisor. Anyway, I can do whatever you need for
Cool.
me right now.
I'll just bring you a couple steps this
Okay.
way. And perfect right there.
Okay.
Don't stare at the light.
Okay.
Leave spots.
As I look at as you tell me not to do that.
Well, I always try to put my hand up.
Right.
All right, so that's good right there. And check. Okay. So, first question, just say and spell your name for us and give us your title and rank so we have it.
Okay, my name is Summer, Summer, and Black is my last name, Black. I'm the traffic sergeant with Santa Rosa Police Department.
Okay. What was the initial call? What brought people out here? What brought Sheriff's Office and Santa Rosa PD out here today?
So the initial call was a citizen living in a residence on Dutton Avenue reporting that somebody was possibly inside that resident armed with some type of unknown weapon, like a gun, shotgun, handgun. We're not quite sure at this point. And according to the reporting party, it was unclear if there were people being held inside against their will or if the subject was in there by themselves. And that's what we're trying to determine right now.
So kind of a suspicious circumstances to draw everyone out, and you're being very cautious about your approach to the house?
Absolutely. I mean, we take any call like this 100% seriously, and the officers are out here doing their response in a tactical way to make sure everybody's safe.
Okay. Is there any worry that for something that may be just suspicious circumstances that coming in with this much of a response might escalate it?
You know, there's always that worry, but if we don't come in with this type of response, you're kind of, I hate to say it, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right.
But our protocol is anytime we get a call like this is to come in with this type of response based on the information we develop.
So you guys have been here for a little while now. Has anyone made any contact? Do we know if anybody is home or if anybody is in danger at the
The only
moment?
information I have right now is that we have contacted several people either living next to the residence or who potentially were inside the residence, and we're kind of gathering intel from that, as well as from the original reporting party.
So at the moment, the house could be empty, the house could be fully occupied, and it could be an actual hostage situation.
Absolutely, and we're treating it that way.
So not knowing what's going on, how does that affect your approach?
Well, the first thing that we think about is obviously the safety of the citizens living in the area. So as you can see, we've shut down the roads, we've put out advisories, Nixle, Twitter, Facebook, to kind of give people a heads up to stay away from this area. And then as far as our approach goes, we call out the necessary resources from our department and sometimes other departments to come up with a game plan how we're going to approach the house.
And at this point, how long do you think it may be until you make contact with the house, or at least have a better understanding of what the situation is?
You know, will all depend on the kind of the game plan they're coming up with. I mean, we've had calls where we sit and wait, but typically those are ones when we have really good info. We've made possibly contact with the person inside, and it's kind of a waiting game, a negotiation type of situation. With this call, we don't really have that, so it could be over in 5 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be 10 hours. We're not sure at this point, based on what we know.
Okay. Any messages for the general public right now that you guys want to get out?
Just avoid this area, Dutton, Barham area. I mean, like I said, we don't know how long this road's going to be shut down, and if you do live in this area, just shelter in place until we let you know further.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank
I
you.
just want to clarify that the schools are not on lockdown in the area?
They weren't the last information that I had.
Okay.
So school was about to get out, and because of their proximity to this call, I don't think they were on lockdown, and they were safe. Parents were safe to come get their kids.
Come get their kids. Okay. Thank you, Summer.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so my battery is dying. I'm gonna sign off, go get a charger in my car, and come back.